Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again, and radiating love as always. And welcome, Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Capricorn Rising, for anybody who just wants to hang out with the Capricorn Tribe, the Sea Goats, the Elves of the Zodiac. Welcome to your March 2019 report. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and let's see what the cards have to say for you. I have to say, when I was shuffling the cards before this, you're the only sign so far where a card didn't pop out, the cards didn't go all over the place, and it was very uniform and very neat. So I don't know what that means, Capricorn. I'm not going to just jump to assumptions, but let's just see what the cards have to say about that. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So this isn't bad at all, but this is actually asking you to connect more to your intuition. This is asking you to connect a little bit more to that aspect, that emotional quality of yourself. And I'm really even feeling like this is going to come in many ways via this Mercury retrograde that's happening in Pisces, which for you is the third house. So that has to do a lot with your mind and how your mind actually does manifest your reality. How you have very magical thoughts, Capricorn. You have very, very magical thoughts. That's why you represent the natural 10th house. That's why you guys are the bosses. That's why you are the elves. It's because really what you think is magic. You think in terms of that extra dimensional quality. But the Ace of Cups is saying that you're going to have to connect with your intuition more. And since Mercury is going retrograde, this is going to be going within. So you're going to have to go within and listen to your intuition a little bit more this month. We also have the Two of Pentacles, Capricorn. The Two of Pentacles is awesome because I like to think of this as the stepping stone card. It's the stepping stone card. You're putting one foot in front of the other. You're not necessarily wanting to just jump right to the end, but this also speaks to how we build things. It's like if you were like creating a stone path, you have to put one stone down and then the other. You can't just like sit there and be like bam, bam, bam. I mean, you can do that, but it'll be all over the place. It'll be wacky. It won't look good. And what you're trying to do is that since you're having to connect a little more with your intuition this month with the Ace of Cups in reverse, the Two of Pentacles is actually speaking to taking your time. But as you can see, there's that infinity symbol that's around these pentacles, right? The infinity symbol. You even have the waves in the back with the two ships. So in many ways, it's like your ship is kind of coming in many ways, but it's like slow and steady wins the race this month. And you are already are one of the slower signs. You're faster than Taurus. And Virgo only has the perception of speed because they are mutable, but sometimes they can get caught up on trying to perfect things. Whereas you, Capricorn, Saturn's in your sign and Pluto's in your sign. So you're going through this deep transformational time. There's a lot of pressure and stress on you right now. The South Node's also in your sign. So this is not really a time to try and force the issue. This is a time to take your time, to be patient. Your final card, we actually have the Justice card. We actually have the Justice card. So in many ways, you're going to be blind in many ways to these. You're going to be blind, not necessarily blind to emotion, because that's really the initial thing that I thought about, is emotion. You're not going to be blind to it because the universe is wanting you to connect more to your intuition anyway, to your psychic faculties. But the Justice card, you see how she has the blindfold on? So this is really going to be one of these no hard feelings kind of energy where you're going to be seeking inner peace and inner balance and harmony, but also subsequently in your outside world. So people are going to be kind of bringing their circumstances and situations to you. They're going to be bringing to you their sorrows, and what you're going to do is that you're almost going to kind of draw this line between you and the other person. It's not that you're not going to help them or give them advice or help them to kind of balance out, but you are really wanting to kind of not allow yourself emotionally to be carried away by the current of that other individual. You're going to want to kind of draw that line. In many ways, I do see this Two of Pentacles as that line. You see how, in many ways, you see this? You see how there's a ship on this wave, and there's a ship on this wave as well? And what's interesting is that they're actually facing each other, you know, technically, but then you have this individual who's in the middle. Now, he's perceivably in the middle because he's more in the foreground of this card, right? But he is in the middle, and you have one pentacle here and one pentacle there. And that pentacle, in many ways, is pointing to this one, and that pentacle, in many ways, is pointing to this one. So you are going to be taking this middle ground where you're going to be becoming impartial. You're going to be becoming impartial, and you have to, because you have to maintain this emotional integrity, and you're having to maintain this, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to, for some reason, emotional abstinence came up, but it's not like you're going to be void of emotion. You're just going to be abstaining from allowing yourself to get too caught up in the current of other people's emotions, because that's actually going to give you the clarity of mind, and you really are going to need this because Mercury is going retrograde in your third house, and this is going to be a time where you really have to kind of like, you're going to be taking like this fine comb over your thoughts, and you're going to be kind of like, I'm almost like imagining your thoughts as a Zen garden, you know, like those little Zen gardens with like the sand, the stones, whatever like that. What you're going to be wanting to do is that there are going to be people that come to you and they're going to bring their Zen garden to you, and there's going to be like chaos all over the place, and they're going to want you to fix it. It's not your job to fix their Zen garden. Okay? It's not your job to fix their Zen garden. You can give them advice, but they're almost going to want you to do it for them. And that's not your job. That's not your job. You can look at it and kind of come from this objective, impartial point of view and just be like, why don't you just take your time with it? Why don't you, have you considered doing it this way? Have you considered doing it that way? They're almost going to want you to do it for them. I mean, in many ways, I'm saying, you know, like how you go into a new job, whatever like that, and you have your training period, right? And like the manager or the boss is having to train the employees and stuff. I'm saying that you're going to have an employee metaphorically coming to you that finished their training weeks ago, but they're still going to be asking you questions on how to do something that they should have learned. The only way that they're going to learn is by you not doing it for them. You're going to actually kind of have to let that individual learn on their own. And that may be a little difficult for you. We do also have the Ace of Coins, though. And it's cool because we have like this cornucopia, which is speaking of this abundance and this prosperity. And then you have this angelic figure looking above it. So this is speaking to this manifestation. This is speaking to this deeper sense of value, self-worth, maybe even a project that you're initiating that you know is going to bring you this great wealth, whether that's physically or whether it's spiritually. I'm thinking more spiritually, but this is going to be a moment where it's like someone is going to be wanting to come to you, or a situation. I'm really feeling a person is going to be kind of dumping their problems on you, and they want you to fix it for them instead of them learning how to do it on their own. And maybe you may even be this individual. So this is about emotional integrity. This is about emotional responsibility, having the ability to respond to emotions. A lot of times what happens in this world, especially with social media, is that we see something online, and instead of having the emotional responsibility and realizing that we have a choice on how to respond, people just respond immediately. And they get triggered. They get triggered, and they just like, I'm going to get carried this way. I'm going to get carried that way. I'm going to get carried that way. And it's going to be like, you don't have time for that. You don't have time for that this month, Capricorn, because you have a focus, you have a vision, and you are going to manifest it. And if you allow yourself to get carried this way, if you allow yourself to get carried that way, you're not going to find the peace in the center. That is it for your reading, Capricorn. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to astrofenixx.com. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often.